Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Object 261. It's the Tier 10 Soviet SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Prokhorovka, and it's under the command of Comrade Sergey. And yes, we've seen him before in battle. We don't have his equipment loading, but I'm sure he'll share that with us. Game on! Well, unlike the 212 and of course the school bus, the Su-14-2, which have a 203mm howitzer, the Object 261 actually has an 18cm howitzer instead. So it's slightly smaller, but it's based in the hull of an IS-7, or what would have been an IS-7. Of course, they never built those, so the Object 261 never existed. And he's knocked some trees down to give himself some cover, hoping that the enemy won't spot that, but he's decided to move away from that spot anyway. Probably a better thing to do. And the enemy's come into sight. First target is a 122 TM. Let it settle on. Very good. Rounds out. Direct hit. Good shot. 349. Now the alpha on these shells is 800. 45mm per pin, 9.5 meters on the burst radius, and between 11.5 and 29 seconds of stun. He's loading the stun shells. These guys working together, well, they can have a shell together. In fact, both of them suffer and both get stunned. Looks like the Carnarvon got rid of his stun very quickly, but the Luther, well, I'm not sure if he can. He may have used his first aid kit already. Now this Arty does reload fairly quickly, so it can get two shots out within a short period of time. The Carnarvon gets the next one, another direct hit for 380. The standard reload is 30.68 seconds, but I kind of get the feeling that what we're seeing here with Comrade Sergey is something like 24, 25. We'll see that any second. Yes, 24.13. Rounds out. Another direct hit. You can see all the yellow marks on their turret. Yes, those are all the HE rounds that hit them. That Carnarvon's taking a plastering. Oh, this time round. Well, that was a very big hit for 500 hit points. And he used the armor piercing rounds. That's why it sounded different on impact. Okay, he's using armor piercing again. Needs to make sure it hits. Well, it did hit, but just didn't kill. But he does have the communications expert because he tracked the Lurva and the Lurva took damage afterwards. So, yes, that was a good one. Oh, unfortunately for our E-100, he just took a strike from the Type 5 Heavy. And now the Type 5 Heavy took a round from Comrade Sergey. So he's trying to help his teammates survive. Unfortunately, we did lose the E-100. He's gone back to the 122 TM. Looks good. Well, Comrade Sergey is actually looking away after he shoots, and we know we want to see what happens to the shell because we want to see how accurate he is. One of the things about Arty players, we're very particular about seeing the damage, just like tank drivers like to look at the damage that they do. He's lined up another shell. Rounds out. Yep, that's a direct hit on his rear. Comrade Sergey must have been listening to me there to make sure that he gave us that shot. Again, he knocks a tree over, but I think he might be using that to attract the enemy Arty's fire to that tree alone. 122 was still stunned, and oh, well, he's been stunned again, but we only got 11 hit points off that shot. Now, the other bad thing about this, Arty, is you only get 20 rounds of ammunition. Whoa, sorry, that was me. I was shuffling my papers around and they hit the escape key. I didn't mean to do that. I do apologize. Okay, Type 5 Heavy. Looks good. Rounds out and direct hit. Well, we've got another one, a Wizzy 1111 FT, but we're looking at the Object 432 in the rear. In fact, he's not the only one. There's an AMX Series AC 148 there, and he takes a hit for 216. It's a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks in it. Well, that Type 5 is a very good player, but he's about to get hit again. Rounds out. Oh, right over the engine deck. He's trying to move about very erratically because he wants to throw the Arty off. Rounds out. Yep, direct hit again, 106. The enemy seem to be doing rather well over on the other side of the battlefield, actually. They're one up on us at the moment. Just waiting for the reload for the 432. Rounds out. Another direct hit for 323. He's getting very accurate. And the AMX AC 48 goes down to our SU-130 PM. So it appears we're pressuring the enemy on this side of the map, and our teammates are pressuring the enemy, or the enemy's pressuring our teammates on the other side of the map. But the 432 has just gone down. We're going for the BZ. 149. That one appeared to hit the front of the vehicle for 133. There's only 5 enemies remaining now. 3 of them heavy tanks, 1 medium, 1 Arty. The Arty is a heavy Arty as well. It's a GWE 100. The BZ is very low on hit points now. He could go down with the next hit. Rounds out. And he does. So that's Comrade Sergey's first kill of the game. So yes, he's running short on ammo. There's only 4 enemies remaining. He's loaded. We can see the enemy in the field on the opposite side, but oh, the enemy GW has moved. And he's gone. He's been spotted and taken out. So we're looking at the Type 5 Heavy. We've got the extra HE. He pumps one in, 266. Now the extra HE is capable of 1000 alpha and 56 millimeters of pen with a 5-meter burst radius, but there's no stun. The 122 went down, and that means that we've got this M6Y over on the other side of the map, and it's our last shell. We haven't got any more available. He's marking where he's looking to tell his teammates where he thinks the guy is. That's where I'm focusing. The ISU 152 is getting close. You can't see him, the ISU. He must be a bit closer than I thought. In fact, he is very close. And we fire the last shell. Oh, he got him with the last shell. What a game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the second-class tanker for Comrade Sergei in the Object 261. He got a sharpshooter for getting 10 or more consecutive shots on the enemy, as well as a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 10 in this one. But best of all, he actually picked up a Faden's medal. They're difficult to get because you have to kill the last enemy tank with the last round of ammunition you have in your magazine, and that's precisely what he did when he took out the last enemy, which was the M6Y down here. He also got a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. So let's have a look at his win rate. That was 4,825, and that's Super Unicum standard. If we look at the team score, we can see the highest damage in the game was Comrade Sergei, but it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool, and that's why he didn't get the high caliber. He got 4,074 hit points of damage, with the second highest going to the Type 5 Heavy with 3,996, and the third highest, well, that went to the SU-130PM on our own team with 3,342. When it came to kills, we can see the top number of kills was 2, and yes, Comrade Sergei got that. He shares it with the SU-130PM, the ISU-152, the ELC-790 on his team, who also got a patrol duty, and also the Type 5 Heavy and the M6Y on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, it was actually the ELC-790 who came out on top. He got 1,234, and I suspect that's because he did a lot of spotting. Yes, 6,539 hit points of spotting and a patrol duty. And the second highest was the SU-130PM with 1,044. And I think that was because he was tier 8 in a tier 10 game, and he was hitting tier 10 defenders. And that's why he earned extra XP. Excuse me, I had to sneeze there. Okay, and that accounts for the 2 players who managed to make it over 1,000 base. The third place goes to the Conceiver with 883. And then we've got Comrade Sergei in 4th place. In fact, joint 4th place with the ISU 152, because they both got 860 base out of that game. He fired 20 rounds, all the ammunition in his magazine. He got 16 direct hits on the enemy, and 1 penetrating shot, and 18 splash. Damage of 4,074 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. So which one do you think that he actually penetrated in that game? Looking at the list, I think it might, well, looking at it's not the Lerva, the AC. I'm looking at that list and I'm wondering, did he penetrate the Carnarvon? Because virtually everything he penetrated in that, or hit in that game, was a heavy tank. It was the Carnarvon. He hit him so many times. And if you remember, it was an armor-piercing round that went into the Carnarvon, but he didn't kill it. Somebody else got the joy of doing that. But yes, that penetrating round went in and went straight through his armor. He damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 2, and he got 966 hit points of damage assist and 908 of stun assist off 12 stuns. On a premium count, he actually made only 811 credits from the entire game. Well, his ammunition costs were quite expensive, and he did have to pay consumables as well. He got 5 bonds for being tier 10, and 9,030 experience points out of that one, including 7,740 for a mission completion event. So very good game. Always a joy getting a Faden's medal right at the very end, because you know you're running short on ammo. I mean, most of the Fadens I've actually won, I didn't actually realize that that was going to be my last shell. But occasionally while I'm playing, I will watch the shell count go down, because I like to notify my teammates that it's the last one I've got available, just in case they're expecting anything more from me afterwards. But nice joy to get that shot, and it was a bit of a snapshot at that, but it did work, and he took down the last enemy. So congratulations on your Fadens. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.